Good evening. The case against the former Eskom acting CEO, Matshela Koko, and his 18 co-accused has today been struck from the roll.
The Middelburg Specialized Commercial Crimes Court did so earlier this afternoon. Koko and his co-accused, which include his wife and stepdaughter, are accused of unduly benefiting from a multi-billion rand contract awarded to Swiss company Essia Brown Boveri, also known as ABB.
The case relates to a 2.2 billion rand contract for the construction of the Kusile power station. Joined now by Sindisiwe, Seboka, spokesperson for the NPA's investigative Directorate. Sindisiwe, good afternoon to you, and thank you for your time. The reason that this case was struck from the roll is because the NPA is still not ready to go to trial. Why is the NPA not ready?
So we'd indicated to court, Stephen, that there are certain documentation that we still needed to get, some reports which had already been started by experts, including the Bauman report, had been done, however needed to be proofread before we finalize the matter or take the matter to trial. We also indicated to court that most of the groundwork had been done. There were some investigations abroad that we also needed to finalize in terms of witness statements. So we had provided all this information to court during the 342A hearing as to what it is that we still needed to finalize. However, the court has thus decided to strike the matter off the court roll.
Okay, but the NPA's had a long time to look at this. I mean, the first public reports about this go back to at least 2017. That's 6 years ago. I realize that you would have started to investigate that long after that. But you've still had a very long time to get all of your ducks in a row.
Once again, that is relative in terms of long time and the type of corruption that the investigating directorate working with secondments is working on. We've made submissions to Parliament many a times that the fact that we are still not permanent, we're still on our way there. We're operating on a model of secondments and not people who directly report to the investigating director, which come from law enforcement, meaning SAPS and the Hawks, has been much of an issue. You would have also heard through the 342A application, through our submissions, we indicated to court that the matter wasn't first at the investigating directorate. It was with our sister agency, the DPCI. There was another prosecutor that were currently working on the matter before it was then brought over to the ID in 2020. So even the handover process, you would know, anything that is handed over, there are some issues that then emanate from that. So it is quite unfair to say that the ID had been working on it since 2017.
Okay, 3 years then. I mean, 3 years, not enough time? Otherwise, Matshela Koko and the others shouldn't have been charged in the first place until the NPA was ready.
Once again, like we reiterated in court, that we had done a lot of work. It was just these outstanding statements that we needed to add in order to then draft the final indictment, in order to have the matter then transferred to the High Court. So we indicated to court that we needed a period of 6 months in order to wrap up those things. But from our request to court that we need a further 6 months, the 342A hearing then commenced, which chowed about 2 to 3 months of the preparation of the 6 months. So we stand here saying that this for us is not a setback. It just buys us more time to then finalize what we had indicated to court we needed to work on.
Sindisiwe, I think this actually might be a critical juncture for the NPA, and let me explain what I mean. You lost the Nulane case. I realize that you're appealing that. You've had to wait quite a long time for a court date. Matshela Koko and others are going to say, and it's hard to argue against them, that this is a vindication for them. I realize you can bring the charges back at any time when you're ready. But the question still needs to be asked. Can the National Prosecuting Authority and can the Investigative Directorate of the National Prosecuting Authority, are you competent? Are you able to bring these cases? If you aren't, the people accused of state capture or corruption during that time will walk free. It's a critical question.
To answer that, Stephen, the first aspect will be that state capture, corruption of the scale took place over a protracted amount of years. So in order to then investigate and unravel that and bring cases to court is taking time because law enforcement was not spared from the hollowing and the corruption that took place. So where we currently stand as the investigation, as the investigating directorate with secondments from law enforcement, basically the law enforcement in its totality is everyone is pulling their weight. We're doing as much as we possibly can. Where we need assistance, like in this case and others, we even outsource and get Section 38 appointees from the bar to assist. But we're not blind to the fact that this is going to be an uphill battle. However, we're doing as much as we possibly can, and we do believe that it's going to start yielding positive fruit. And like you said, this is not an acquittal. This is a removal from the roll, meaning we can still enroll this matter after getting the requisite authorizations. So what we're doing now is taking stock, going through the order, the judgment once we get it, and then deciding what to do best. But like we indicated to court, we did not need a lot of time. That's exactly what we're going to continue doing.
Okay, well, the magistrate obviously didn't accept your argument. You've had your budget cut in the medium-term budget policy statement, and this goes to the point you're making about what's happened in the NPA and the criminal justice system. Do you actually have the resources to do cases like this after those budget cuts and all of the other challenges?
I will not put up a story as to that has not affected us. It's affecting us a lot. As it currently stood, we needed even more resources. So the budget cuts aren't assisting the situation either. But we are making do with what we have. And those that are my seniors are also making submissions where we need those submissions to be made for other positions to be maybe outsourced in order to then assist us to move forward. But the budget cuts, I will not lie, are difficult for the NPA currently.
Sindisiwe, thank you. Spokesperson for the Investigative Directorate at the National Prosecuting Authority.